Welcome to another installment of the Imperfect Homeowner by the Imperfect Podcasters. Today's episode is fueled by caffeine, thanks to someone snoring all night, every night, keeping me awake. This week...
I can't help it, I have a condition.
This week we're just gonna shoot the crap about some of the good stories we have about being property owners, and I'm gonna let you kick it off.
Oh, I get to be the one. So we've had owned a handful of houses over the past 5 or 6 years now, and we're learning a lot as we go when it comes to essentially property management. And that's what if you own a home, you're property management, right? You're taking care of things within the home.
Right.
And then when you own a bunch of rentals, then that gets times, however many, right? You got to manage each one of those.
Because a lot of them are first time, this is their first home, and they don't know these things. That's kind of what sparked this whole podcast, to help everybody out there, the viewers, of these tips and tricks that either we've had to kind of guide someone through or learn ourselves. So I know it's been a good learning experience for us, but we've had some doozies for sure.
I got a funny one. I don't know if you remember. So I believe it's the Beverly house. We were in the middle of the remodel of it, and we noticed that there was a bunch of rats. And this kind of goes into, we just had a few episodes back, we talked to All Pest Solutions about bug control and varmints and all that stuff. But so we noticed that we saw some. The guys there working were like, "Hey, I'm pretty sure I saw Splinter up there in the attic, like Master Splinter, and we're looking for the turtles." Like what is this?
Pizza's everywhere.
Yeah, so I told him, I go, "Man, I got this." So I ran up to Home Depot and I bought a bucket of the little green blocks to throw around the house. So I'm going around and I'm hiding them in spots like under the sink and like in the kitchen and some of the cabinets, and then I went around into the bathrooms and put them all in there. And then I'm like, you know what? I need to put these up in the attic, because a lot of times that's where they're at. They're running around in the attic. So I went into the garage.
Didn't the garage have a just empty spot, just bare open to the attic?
Yeah, that's where I went.
It is like highway system.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is great. We love it here.
So I got up there and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to crawl across this attic. I'm just going to start throwing them. I'm wearing like, rubber gloves, like EMS gloves. And I grabbed these things and I'm just chunking them, right? I'm just throwing them across in there. I'm like, I'm taking these rats out. Well, the next thing I know, there's Splinter, Master Splinter. He's right there, and we're eye to eye. And I'm in a panic. I'm like, hair stands up and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, well, maybe I'll throw one close to it so that way it can go ahead and have lunch. And I throw it. And I threw it kind of just a little bit over from it, and that dude went and got it like he was fetching and gonna send it back to me.
He did.
Yeah. I'm like, oh heck no, I'm out. So I got down and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope that this takes care of our problem. So we finished the house up within the week, right? So now we're into
showing.
It's time to start showing. Mm-hmm. And so we had a couple that was meeting us there, so we drove out there to go open the house up. Before we got there, this lady calls, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, there's a rat in the driveway. Oh my gosh, it's like sick, really sick.
It's barely breathing."
And of course, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, are you serious?" And then in my mind, I go, "That was Master Splinter."
Yeah, got him.
It worked. It got him. So we get there, and sure enough, this thing, was the size of a cat. It was huge. And we got it, I disposed of it. It actually passed away. And I think these were called some kind of Eastern
Russian something
lab rats that live up in the attic. And like I had to get a shovel out and throw this thing in the trash. Like you can't make this stuff up. Like this dude was huge, and apparently these are rats that, in talking to Wendell, like they love living up in the attic. Like that is their place. And
they have free range to it.
Yeah, and we had to go in and seal up around the house and put little like screens up to make sure that Master Splinter's kids doesn't make it into this home. And like I never would have thought that I would be playing catch with a rat as a homeowner. Right.
That wasn't your whole idea when
there's no way.
When you said let's own some property. Yeah. This is how I want it to go. You never saw that coming.
Yep, never saw that coming. And that one goes into a book that we may write later on down the road.
I'm in on a book.
I'm pretty sure that dude was doing karate.
It could have
been. Up there, backflips and stuff. Yeah. So, that was a funny story. It
was a good one.
Part of the property management stuff.
Yeah. And we've had just nasty houses where we've had to go in with hazmat suits and just clean out people, years and years of trash and filth and.
There was one that it had the animals. They had animals in there, and they just used the bathroom in the home.
Yep.
And that one we had to gut. We had gutted the house, and it took just, I think, 10 plus dumpsters to get this dude.
Right.
And one of the
now it's our nicest one.
It is. Remember, it had the cat just didn't want to leave.
Yeah. House comes with cat.
Yeah. We inherited a cat.
Yeah.
Luckily, the house next door, they adopted the cat, and it's like their household kitty cat that was wild and lived up in the attic of this of our home. Sometimes these houses, people just don't take care of them and don't realize that there's a lot of stuff that you need to do.
That's okay though. That's where we are learning these things to bestow upon the viewers, and because you can't learn stuff if you're going to buy perfect houses every time.
This is true.
This is the Imperfect podcast. So we like to buy the imperfect houses and make them nice and homes again, and that's kind of our thing. But we'll have a lot more funny stories to go.
I got one quick funny story.
Okay.
So one of the houses, the tenant called and said, "Hey, my toilet it will not flush." Like the old classic toilet not flushing. I'm like, "Hey, you got a plunger there?" She goes, "I'm telling you, that plunger is. I went and bought 2 or 3 other plungers and not working." So I'm like, all right.
Stick plunger, did you bring that in? We should have brought that in.
No. So I don't know if you remember, but I was like, you know what? I got this. What's unclogging a toilet? I said, let's run by Home Depot, and we bought one of those like Ryobi little 10-foot snakes that run off a battery, or you can plug it in. So I got over there, and there's nothing in the toilet other than water. It's not like it was just nasty.
It's full of good stuff.
But I did put those gloves on. I don't want to get anything on me. And so I tried to
splash suit.
I should have put a splash suit on, because I'm telling you, I'm in there just plunging the heck out of this thing, and it is not happening. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And this is like middle of summer, and I'm door shut, and I'm in there just screaming at it, like, what is going on with this? So
did you tell them they need to leave?
Yeah, everybody exit the home. This is going to get violent. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna run the snake down it. So I run put the little thing, in the toilet. It's got to go, and it's like nothing's happening. I'm like, you know what? I need to remove this toilet. That way, I take the toilet out of the equation. Mm-hmm. So here I am. I'm disconnecting the toilet. Now we're about this deep in water. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
So we're putting towels over by the door so it doesn't go out in the hallway. I'm like, I'm getting this. And so now I'm snaking just in the hole, and it's just water. There's not sewer or anything coming up. And then the snake gets stuck. So here I am just pulling on this thing,
which ultimately led to its demise. You freshly bought that snake and freshly broke
it was like $100, and I was like, I broke it.
I do remember that.
Yeah. So I got defeated.
Called a plumber. And then?
They had it fixed in like 10 minutes.
Yeah? What was the result?
The clog was actually, he said, like 30 feet away. Like they measured their commercial grade snake that they put in there. The camera and stuff. And it's like 30 feet away. Got it cleared up. And after that, I decided as a homeowner, I will never unclog a toilet. Never again. Now, your occasional, every now and again, a little, try that first.
We have plenty to do at our own home.
Yeah.
Of that.
But something that magnitude, I'm calling a professional.
Yeah. If they say I've plunged it and cannot get it, we're moving on.
Moving on.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
I like it. Well, yeah,
that was a nice little quick chat about some of our interesting stories in the homes of things you just don't think about as a homeowner.
Yeah. A good little reprieve on your learnings. This would be a fun little episode. So if you like it, comment, share, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and
YouTube.
Duh. We'll see y'all on the next one.
See you later.